Hello, hello, hello. It is such a day, yeah. Such a marathon day, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh, it is a great day. It's a day that you want to sing, that you want to practice, that you want to hone in your craft, because you might be doing a show. You might be thinking, I don't know whether I want to do a show. Or you might think, hey, it's no big deal. Well, I went over that before in the last few weeks, and I'm going to recap what I talked about with prepping for a show, what songs you choose, your attitude, and many different things. Today, I'm going to go over some other things. The running of your show, all right? Your first song, how do you choose that? Different things, but I already went over a lot, and I want to recap as much as I can, okay? So I have my notes here. Oh, I love them. All right. The thing is that you might be scared to do a show, and you might think, who am I to be doing a show? What, I'm not ready. You know what? It's very hard to do a show, but it also will never be perfect. And you're waiting, for something to really sink in and be really right. Sometimes you're waiting a little bit too long. Sometimes you need to wait. If your attitude is, hey, it's no big deal, I'm going to do a show, sometimes that is really a great attitude to push you forward. Then you see all the ins and outs, you go, oh my gosh, it was so much to do, but at least I bit the bullet. And that's a really great thing for you to, move forward and be brave about it. And then those who say, well, I'm not quite sure whether I should or not do a show, there's all kinds of attitudes. The only thing that I can say for sure is that, number one, if you're doing the work and you've been doing it for a while, you need to get into the pool, okay? You need to just try out with a safe crowd, but you need to do a show. It shows you where you are in your career for being out in front of an audience. Same thing as recording. A lot of times we wait too long to record, or we're too scared to record, or we jump in and we freak out because look at how I listen. Oh my gosh, I sounded like that. And then we freak out because we heard the recording of ourselves. The whole thing is that until you do it, and until you look at it as objectively as you can, you'll never know where you are. Same thing with just singing, just beginning singing, just trying to be a singer. You have all of those three aspects, all of those three areas that you may go through in your mind. And the thing is that you have to get in the pool. You got to jump in the pool. You got to put your foot in the pool and test the waters. But you can't just go back and sit in the lounge chair, clicking and texting. That won't do it. You've got to do the thing. You've got to record. You've got to do the show. Okay, so I've lectured enough on this. We talked about learn, practice, and rehearse. So the learning is that you're going to learn your song. You want to pick songs that are great for you, great for your audience, and it might not be ones that you go, oh, I love this song, but it might not be perfect for you or for doing in a show. So be careful on how you're picking your songs, and then don't wait forever. You've got to learn those songs. Then you've got to be practicing them. And I talked about stop and start practice, performance practice. So stop and start is where you go, oh my gosh, I got to go over that part. You really, get into that part, and you check out all the things about what's wrong, what's right, why you're not breathing, why you're not supporting, and keep practicing over that. And then you get to that final step, which is rehearsing your show. Now, I'm going to talk about the run of your show today, but rehearsing your show means that you can't just stop and start. You got to do, I went over, going back. All right, performance practice. you perform your song. You stand up if you're going to stand in your song. You sit down if you're going to sit in your song, okay? And you practice your doing your introduction. Some songs you want to introduce, some songs you just want to go into them. You might want to come on stage and just immediately, really hit hard. Okay, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So you want to practice it. So you want to be in front of people as much as possible. We have performance practice here where everyone gets up and then everyone says, hey, you could do this, and I love this about the song. But you want to do performance practice where you don't stop in the middle and you go back and try something out. No, you see where you are under a little bit of tension. You want to record yourself. You want to check out exactly where it's at and see, oh my gosh, I did that. I didn't know I did that. I didn't know that I was fixing my hair when I was doing my show or my practice. Because if you do it on the practice, you're going to do it in the show. So many people have said they won't. You know what they did? Yeah. They did it in the show, okay? So you want to practice just like you would be doing it in the show and see, oh my gosh, I gotta fix this. And if you record, you see, you really see. You not only hear, but you see. If you're busy performing, you're experiencing it and you're getting feedback, but when you see it back, it's the same thing as recording and you hear it back. You have to be kind to yourself because it doesn't sound the same. Nobody sounds the same to themselves because you're hearing back from the speakers, which is not the way you've been practicing. You've been practicing hearing within here. It's different. When you hear back from speakers from an outside source, you're hearing it correctly. So don't freak out when you record, okay? Just a little tidbit. I've mentioned this before. So, where are we? Oh, we're at rehearsal. Oh, honey, guess what? Now, listen to me. Do not just take this for granted. You've got to run down your show. You've got to rehearse. Now, I said this, last week I put it in and I made it really, really emphatic. Rehearse. All right? Means over and over again. How? Not by stopping and, you just do one song and then you think about something or answer an email or text somebody. No. You don't have anything to distract you. Even when you're practicing, you don't want distractions. We'll talk about that too, but what I'm getting to here is, and what I mentioned last week is, you run down your show. Now you might say, yeah, but I don't know whether I'm going to keep this song. I don't know whether I'm going to, I have to change it. Okay, you set up as much as you can. And I said this last week. It really, really needs to be rehashed and re-spoken, okay? So don't get like, oh my gosh, she said this, and she's saying it again. Yes, I am, because I'm your elder in singing. I've been doing this for decades. I know. I've done the right thing, the wrong thing, sort of the right, the wrong, and that's why I'm giving this to you. So heads up to you. Don't be stupid about it, because you're going to trip and fall. And then you go, wow, I wish I had done that. Well, take it from me now and do it. You run down your show. If there's a change, you're running down to the show is going to tell you that. Okay, so I said that before. I'm saying it again because you must hear it over and over again in order for it to sink in, for you to realize just how important it is. Okay, all right. So now I want to talk about your lineup of the show. So when you're lining up your show, it's your first song, okay? Your very first song. What are you going to do on that first song? All right? I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do on that first song? Are you going to introduce it? So now I'm going to talk about your lineup of the show. All right? So when you're lining up your show, what you want to do is think about, how am I going to enter the stage? I talked about backstage, cocooning, being ready. When you enter the stage, are you going to talk to your audience? Are you going to go right into a song? And what type of a song do you want to do? Do you want to do an easygoing song, or are you hard-hitting? You come in right away and it's going to be a really strong song. The most important thing that you need to know as a singer is that you don't want to strain right in the beginning. So make sure you have a song that's easy for you to do. Whether it's really, really forceful or not, it has to vocally be easy for you to do. That's your first thing you want to think about, okay? Now with me, I have, as I walk through this life, I see you smile and the cause of my life unfolds. That was an original that I wrote, and it's easygoing because I'm R&B and jazz. Now, maybe you're rock, maybe you're more hard-hitting. So then you're going to do something that is really strong, but not hard for the voice, like I said. All right? I'm saying it like over again for a reason. I'm saying a lot of things over again for a reason, because sometimes we take for granted that we can just do whatever. Sorta not. Okay, now, when you run down your show, okay, the order needs to be a crescendo. So what do I mean by that? I mean that your audience is so important to you that you want it to build so that their momentum with you is right there. It can be some of the patter that you have, and it can be in the songs that pulls them in. And then you've got this really great song that they really love. They might know you when they go, oh, I heard that song. I love that song. You know, didn't you love this? Okay. And they go, yeah. They love it. And they go, whoa, oh my gosh, I love it. So, but you must build your tempo of the song, of the songs that you choose. And with your rehearsing, you're going to know how it feels to you. But once you step on that stage, it's like in the pool. It's like checking out that water. What's the temperature? How does it feel? And by you doing more shows, you're going to know, right? You're going to know that because you're going to be able to sense your audience. And audiences change. They're different, but you generally can have a show that you know, okay, I can put this song in here now instead of the other one, because these people, that's what I'm sensing from them. So sometimes you do have to make a little alteration. Sometimes you can't. It's all set up and you got to keep going. But then you realize, okay, I better make a change here. But doing the show is the one thing that shows you everything. I mean, you realize so much after you do a show. It teaches you, whoa, I didn't realize, you know, how nervous I get, or how much I forget about my breathing when I'm actually in a live show. Now, when you're recording, it's the same thing. You're under the gun. You're like in a strange place, or maybe you aren't. Maybe you're recording at home, and kudos, that's really great because you have that comfort there. But what if you have to go to a strange place and record? And it might be a great studio, but tensions rise. And that's when you go, oh, I didn't realize, you know, how hard it was on me. And then you got to arm yourself by doing more of it. Not doing less, not pulling away, doing more shows. Not thinking, you know, I really did bad. Why, you know, maybe it's not for me. No, no, do more, okay? Don't go backwards, go forward, charge, you know? Don't renege on your growth just because of mistakes or feeling inadequate or not able to really come up to the standard that you've given yourself. Keep fighting through that. Keep working through that, and then you'll blossom. Otherwise, you never do. You end up in front of the dog on TV or texting or emailing or whatever, and you're not doing your show, though, or watching somebody else. So many people watch players. They watch the ball players. They watch the athletes and everything. I want to be the athlete. I don't want to watch somebody sing. I want to sing. I want that for you. I want your attitude to be that you want to be the singer. You want to be the one that people are looking at, that you're doing a show. Good, bad, or indifferent. Go through it. Sometimes you're going to have a bad one. Maybe a lot of times. But you got to keep going. And improve. You improve with each one because it's learning. It's teaching you something if you allow it. Otherwise, you get up here and, oh my gosh, it isn't really good. I didn't do good. I didn't do good, did I? Well, then you fix it. You move and you fix it. You don't sit in a pity party, okay? It doesn't do any good. It doesn't do anybody any good, okay? Okay. You want to leave your audience satisfied and waiting to come again to your next show. You want them to go, oh man, I can't wait till they do another show because it was just so enjoyable. It was just so great. I was so pumped. Now, there's people that are the observers, and God bless them because we need them, right? Okay, you want them to want to come back. And so your job is to give them the best that you can. That means you got to learn, you got to practice, you got to rehearse, and then you got to give it out. You can't just do it in your living room. You have to do a show. And next week I'm going to talk about venues and all the things that are involved because not everybody has a crew, has a venue that they do everything for you. Sometimes you got to do everything yourself. I know. It's great though. I've learned so much that I've had to do everything. I've had to fix the tech work. Oh, it was like so disgusting. And that was what was happening. I had to stop and then start this video because there was a message coming in. It was Frontier. It was the company, my carrier. Oh, the app isn't working. Well, go away. I put it on airplane mode. It kept coming in while I'm doing this with you. So finally I had to erase the app so I could actually keep giving this to you without them interrupting because they have access. Ugh. What can I say? So there's so many things that are involved that you're going to have to learn and work through. And then, wonderful. Praise God if you've got a whole crew and you've got the sound happening and all that. That's wonderful, okay? So next week we're going to talk about that, and we'll always talk about your attitude. Let me see if I have, I have the bows. Okay, now, you might say, bows? What the heck is that? She's getting weird. When you take a bow on stage, okay, at the end of the song, at the end of the show, how do you exit the stage? And I think I talked about this before, but I want to go over it again because so many people don't do these little fine points. They forget. And they think they're doing sets and they just leave the stage. Okay, see ya. I'll be back in a few minutes. It's not that. It's not a set. It's a show. So thank you so much. Hey, bye-bye. Or this is my last song. And I want to dedicate it to you because you've been so wonderful to me and so loyal. And I so appreciate you coming to this show. And then tell them about the show. So you can do it in different ways. And at the end, then you take your bow. And I always say, I think I said this too last week, but I'm going to say it again. You bow, dun, da, dun, 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 and you come up. Now, you might think that's stupid. I might have said this before, like I said. But again, these are things that I have to say over and over again to people because I said, you forgot. It's down here, waiting, pausing, and coming up. You don't want to be on the stage, though, when the applause ends. You got to get off that stage. You can't saunter. Okay, see ya. And you're just walking. It's a show. You get your butt off the stage. Hey, I see ya. It's exciting. You're still exciting. You're getting off that stage with a bounce in your step, or you're, nicely walking over. But you want to make sure that those people have not stopped applauding. That's like the weirdest feeling, if you realize this, okay? Now, you might say, gosh, she's so pushy with all this. Yeah, she is pushy. Why? Because I want you to be the best you can be. Now, let me just check and see. Your ending, yeah, I went over that. I went over this. Okay, so we're going to wait on the rest of this and just just know that we're going to do next week, we're going to talk about tech and the audience and tickets and everything before the show, getting ready, you know, all of the different things that you have to think about when you're doing a show. And I've mentioned this before, it's a little secret. You might get really dry when you're on stage because in between your songs, what do? In shows that are like musical type shows, you don't go take a glass of water and drink it. If you're doing sets, go ahead. You want to do that? Okay. No, I don't. And when I do a show, I don't take water. I don't drink in the middle of a show. Now, if it's part of your show, if you have a little thing, hey, you know, and it's that relaxed thing, great. You're sitting and you know, it's an intimate setting, then that's part of it. But you've got to be on that show and finish it like it's on stage and like, hopefully it's on stage. Hello, it's a show. And so you run through it. You give them everything. And if you have a problem, bite the tip of your tongue. Like I'm doing right now. Saliva will start. Take more breaths. There's going to be an opportunity, not take a breath, but da la 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 la. You know, now I took a nice big breath and take more big breaths because air is a lubricant to the vocal folds. So what you're doing is like you're telling the muscles, listen, it's going to be okay. And then you've got to relax your mind because tension flows because you're tightening, you're dry in the throat, and all of a sudden the body goes beep, 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 problem. So what you want to do is relax the body. Air can't travel in a tense muscle. So you've got to relax and do more breathing and take more breaths in places where you wouldn't have, but do that. All of a sudden, everything is going to start changing. Okay, and I did mention another thing about getting that smile on your face. Having the giddy. I have my little kid come out. And once you giggle, or you have something that just sparks a giggle inside you, everything relaxes. It's just so saving when you're in a tight spot, like trying to get a high note and you're starting to freak and you go, no. And then you go for that high note and you get it because you relaxed, you took a breath and bam, you got it, okay? But you have to change the chemistry in your body because it's mounting the offensive to save you. Save her, save him, woohoo. You know, and you don't want that. You don't want your body in that tension mode. All right, so I've given you enough on this one. I want to tell you that if you've lasted this long with me, you're watching, you're listening to what I'm saying, I want you to get a hold of me. Leave a comment. Go to marquitawaters.com. You can have my newsletter every week. And it does tell you about these, these videos. But also, join me in some of my courses. I'm going to have a Singing for a Lifetime course, which it goes through the whole enchilada, the whole journey for your singing. Vocal workout course. It's there, and I'm going to do another thing with that where I'm going to meet one-on-one. I'm going to do a master class soon, and I'm going to talk about the ups and downs and give you a lot of things about shows like what I'm doing here, but answering questions, okay? And yes, well, I want you to buy a course from me or maybe even come to take private lessons. Well, yeah, what the heck? You know, we all need to eat. Okay. All right. Leave a comment, okay? If you're on YouTube, will you please subscribe and ring that bell, okay? It is the thing. That's how they know when you give you leave comments, then all of the algorithms and everything get to like me, And the SEO is so important. There's so many things involved. But when you get involved with me, I am able to help you more. And that's my main goal, to give you the things that I have that I know because I've been through so much. Like I said, if you've listened to me for any time, you know I had broken blood vessels when I was a teenager, yeah. And when I was 20, I had nodes. The doctors heard my voice in 1999. Oh, it's so much fun. Life is good, guys, and I want you to enjoy it. I want you to enjoy your singing. Okay, it's personal and professional. You have to have it all going. Okay, I've gone on forever. So leave a comment, like I said, because it's such a day, such a day, such a mighty fun day. Yeah. Bye. So much fun.